afternoon.
Thank you very much for joining me on Business. Good morning and welcome. Government has started engaging investors over its plan to raise some 600 million cedis through a 5-year bond. This will be the first of 2 long-dated bonds that will be issued for the first quarter of 2017. George Biafe has more on the impact on the rising public debt and the cost of borrowing.
The different arrangement instead of the previous ones, which was exclusively done by the Bank of Ghana. The approach will be called the book building and will be handled by 3 institutions, that is Barclays, Stanbic and Finance House Strategic African Securities SAS. Already government has proposed an interest rate is expecting to pay on the funds and also expecting to close this arrangement with investors by tomorrow. The 5-year bond issuance is part of the 17.4 billion cedis being raised through bonds and treasury bills with the first quarter of 2017. Sources close to government say this arrangement was worked on as far back as last year to take care of bonds that are maturing for this year. They maintain it okayed it because they didn't have any problem with this strategy. Joy Business is learning this government to be outlining its borrowing strategy when Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta presents the 2017 budget to Parliament before the middle of March. The 600 million cedis bond is part of the over 17 billion Ghana cedis being raised in the first quarter of this year. However, some are worried about the impact of this bond on the country's rising debt, which has reached 120 billion Ghana cedis as at November 2016, and even the cost of borrowing because of the crowding out effect.
Now, the General Agricultural Workers Union, GAWU, is cautioning government on adopting the private-public partnership approach in addressing the funding problem facing the agric sector. Agric Minister Designate Dr. Efi Yakutu says he will be working hard to bring in more private investors to partner government, turn around the fortunes of the agric sector. But General Secretary of the GAWU, Edward Karewe, says government must tread cautiously.
So have to be careful that at the end of the day, we are not ripped off of so much going into such an arrangement. We are aware of some of the institutions where, at the end of the day, the returns to the state is just minimal. And eventually, in some of those arrangements, the private sector eventually takes over it. So the arrangement per se is not new, and that's what we've been doing over the years. But we need to appraise it to ensure that we actually achieve the objective that we wanted to achieve. We have to do the PPP, but then we also need to be circumspect and then take it easy, such that we do not eventually hand over our space of control and policy making for the private sector.
Now, former CEO of the Tema Oil Refinery and former executive chairman of Football Club at Kumasi Asante Kotoko has been appointed as the acting CEO of the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, GNPC. This is, however, subject to the approval of the Council of State. He takes over from Alex Mode, who was appointed to head the corporation in 2013. Joy Business understands that he begins work officially at GNPC next Monday. Dr. Sapon recently stepped down as executive chairman of the Royal Bank, Ghana, to concentrate on some private businesses. Dr. KK Sapon is a chartered accountant and also holds a PhD in Industrial and Business Studies from the University of Warwick, a Master of Account in International Accounting and Finance from the University of Glasgow. He also holds an MBA in Accounting and BSc Administration Accounting option from the University of Ghana, Legon. And that's it for business. We'll join you again at midday for more business news updates. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji.